Good evening, everybody. Good evening, and it's a nice rain and weather is pretty good in Kochi. Thank you. So, on behalf of ASSOCHAM and KMA, Kerala Management Association, I welcome you all for the industry interaction session with Dr. V. Anantha Nageswaran. So first, let's have a round of applause for taking his time and coming over here. So he will be accompanied with Shri Kamlesh, who is Joint Secretary, Central Board of Direct Taxes, Ministry of Finance, Government of India. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. So we have Shri Raja Sedhunath, who is the Chairman of Kerala State Development Council, along with Dr. Nirmala Lilly, the President of Kerala Management Association, Ms. Pooja Aluwalia, who's Assistant Secretary General, ASSOCHAM. So I'll not take much of my time because we have a very pretty tight schedule. So I would like to welcome Shri Raja Sedhunath, Chairman of ASSOCHAM Kerala State Development Council, to do the welcome note.
Good evening. Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Anantha Nageswaran, Chief Economic Advisor of India, Sri Kamlesh Varshney, Joint Secretary CBDT, Dr. Nirmala Lilly, President KMA, Pooja Aluwalia, Assistant Secretary General ASSOCHAM, Ms. Uma Nair, Regional Director, Southern Region, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great honor and pleasure to stand before you today to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Anantha Nageswaran, the Chief Economic Advisor to India. Dr. Nageswaran's presence here today signifies a remarkable opportunity for us to gain valuable insights and guidance on India's economic landscape and its future prospects. Dr. Nageswaran, renowned for his exceptional expertise in economics, has made a significant contribution to India's financial sector and has played a pivotal role in shaping the country's economic policies. With an illustrious career spanning several decades, he has served as an advisor to governments, businesses, and organizations across the globe, earning him immense respect and admiration. In these times of rapid change and evolving global dynamics, the role of a chief economic advisor becomes ever more critical. Dr. Nageswaran's visionary leadership and profound knowledge will undoubtedly provide us with invaluable perspectives as we navigate the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. Once again, on behalf of ASSOCHAM and all the esteemed members present here today, I extend a warm welcome to Dr. Anantha Nageswaran. We eagerly await your insights and guidance that will certainly enrich our collective understanding and shape a brighter future for India's economy. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Now I would like to invite Dr. Nirmala Lilly, President Kerala Management Association, to give her address, please.
Thank you, Ma. Chief Guest of the Day, Dr. V. Anantha Nageswaran, Chief Economic Advisor, Government of India, Sri Kamlesh Varshney, Joint Secretary, TPL 1, Central Board of District Taxes, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, other dignitaries on and off the dais, good evening. We are indeed grateful to ASSOCHAM for this great opportunity given to us. It was like a dream come true. Doctor, we are honored to have your presence. We will definitely cherish this moment. It is my privilege to be here amidst esteemed members of business community, professionals and leaders from various sectors. KMA has a rich and illustrious history that spans several decades. Founded in 1957, spearheading leadership movement, KMA emerged as a pioneering organization dedicated to promoting management practices and professional development in the state of Kerala. KMA was established with the vision of creating a platform for business leaders, managers, professionals to come together, share knowledge. We focused on organizing seminars, workshops, and conferences featuring renowned industry experts and thought leaders. These events covered a wide range of topics related to management, leadership, entrepreneurship, and emerging business trends. One of the highlights of this year was our Minister of Industries, Law and Coir, Government of Kerala, Sri P. Rajiv, and addressed our members. KMA's flagship program has become renowned in the region. The association has been organizing KMA Annual Management Convention for several decades, bringing together industry leaders, policymakers, and management experts from across the country. This convention serves a platform for knowledge exchange, networking, and showcase the best practices in the field of management. Today, KMA stands as a highly respected and influential organization in Kerala's business ecosystem. It continues to play a pivotal role in shaping the management practices, fostering innovation, and nurturing the next generation of business leaders in the state. With its legacy of excellence and its commitment to continuous learning, KMA remains dedicated to its mission of promotional managerial competency and contributing to the socio-economic progress of Kerala. In conclusion, the Kerala Management Association's commitment to excellence, collaboration, and innovation is commendable. Through its programs, networking opportunities, and new initiatives, we continue to strive as a beacon of inspiration to the business community in Kerala. Thank you, and may we all strive together for a prosperous and sustainable future.
Now let's give a round of applause and invite our guest for the day, Dr. V. Anantha Nageswaran, to deliver his keynote address.
Good evening, everybody. Dr. Nirmala Lilly, Mr. Raja Setunath, Ms. Pooja Aluwalia, Ms. Uma Nair, and my colleague Kamlesh Vashni, and ladies and gentlemen. The West normally refers to rain as something like it rained on the parade, right? As a sort of something that spoiled the show. Whereas we, in our tradition, welcome rains as a sign of auspiciousness. So a couple of days ago, I was in Kolkata, and they were saying that they were sweltering under the 43 degrees Celsius heat, and Kamlesh's colleague, Mr. Raman Chopra, was with me, and they said both of us had brought welcome showers when we landed in Kolkata. So we were very happy to take that compliment, even though we had nothing to do with it. So here also, I'm very happy to land, amidst beautiful gray clouds and green lush fields on the ground. And because at this point in time, the only thing that can spoil the parade or the party is lack of rain compared to what the West says. So in that sense, for us, this is very welcome showers, and I hope it continues for the rest of my 2 days of stay here, or 3 days rather. I always enjoy coming back here because my mother was born in this state. She's from Kodungalur. And my cousin, in fact, was supposed to be here. I've been looking out in the audience. He's not yet here. So he lives in Ernakulam. So I invited him to join me here. So far, he has not showed up. And in fact, when I had to appear for the Common Admission Test, CAT, in 1982, December, I chose Ernakulam as my center from Madurai. Madurai was not a center. I had to either go to Chennai or Coimbatore or Ernakulam. I chose Ernakulam, so it was lucky for me because I got into IIM Ahmedabad after having returned my common admission test here. So in that sense, in many ways, there's not only nostalgic connections, but also auspicious connections to this place for me to come back. So I will be delivering the talk, and all your questions can be directed to my colleague, Mr. Kamlesh Vashni. That is why I asked him to come here. So anyway, with those words of introduction, I'm very happy to share with you the good story that we have at the moment going for the Indian economy. We can, next slide. So I'll be the next half an hour, I'll be walking you through how we see the current state of affairs in the Indian economy. Of course, for a country that is still a relatively low middle income country, there is never a time to sit on its laurels or think that there is a mission that's already accomplished. No, it is a journey, it is a work in progress, and it will remain a work in progress for a long time. So we should be very clear. Much as we have reasons to be satisfied, that doesn't necessarily mean that there is room for complacency or that there is an understatement or underappreciation of the tasks that still lie ahead for us. So I will be walking you through these 4 or 7 topics here, talking about the current state of the economy and then which sectors are doing how, etc. And why are we optimistic about the medium-term performance, and then how the government, both union and state governments, can help with their fiscal prudence, and then the digital integration, which is a very exciting new kid on the block, so to speak. And it's more about 5-6 years old, but that is also helping India achieve efficiencies. And then the outlook for the near term, apart from the industry-wide reforms that have been undertaken so far. So next slide, please. First of all of you know that for the year ending FY23 March, we have a 7.2% real GDP growth as per the Ministry of Statistics. And most of you may know that India releases 6 estimates of the GDP number. So the 6th estimate is the final one that is frozen, that comes in January, February 2026 for the year ending March 23. So my guess at this point is when this number is finally frozen in January, February 2026, the final number could actually be even higher than 7.2% because the underlying momentum in the economy is quite strong. It is important that we clocked a number that was above 7 after the good show in FY22, because we need to catch up with the pre-pandemic trend. And even pre-pandemic, we were actually, the economy was slowing down in 18-19 and 19-20. So it is important to arrest that kind of slowdown. And the last 2 years of numbers are therefore satisfying. Next slide, please. Now, on the left side, you can see, of course, the quarter by quarter breakdown. So we had a 6.1% year-on-year in January-March quarter. Before that was only 4.5% in October-December quarter of 2022. And a lot of people thought that the economy was slowing. And I was explaining to them, the journalists and so on, at that point, that 4.5% was a statistical artifact because the previous year's numbers were revised higher. Therefore, it is like the base depressing the growth rate, but we were looking at the weekly, monthly numbers and they painted a different picture. So I was confident that the economy would actually show a better growth number in the 4th quarter of the financial year, which it did. So in that sense, by the way, some of you may not be aware, the Ministry of Finance, Department of Economic Affairs produces the monthly economic report around the 3rd week of the month. The Reserve Bank of India produces a chapter in its monthly economic bulletin called the State of the Economy. So the RBI does it. The Ministry of Finance monthly economic report comes out around the 3rd week in the website of the Department of Economic Affairs. You can look for it. We share with you not only how we feel about the economy, but why we feel that way. It is a balanced assessment of the economy, and please, therefore, in case you are not aware, I think it is something that is worth looking at because it is a very useful compendium of information backed up by data and analysis of how the economy is progressing. Now, in the, let's take the previous slide, please. On the right side, what we are showing is that India's fourth quarter GDP of 6.1% is actually much better than several other countries at this point. So it's important to know. I mean, sometimes people might say, how does it matter what others are growing at? What matters to us is how much we need to grow and how much have we actually achieved. I agree, both are important, because today the world is, it is a cliched phrase to say, facing so many question marks, unknown unknowns. So given the problems not only we observe in our neighborhood, whether it is Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bangladesh, etc., but also even advanced nations, it should also make us feel satisfied that the overall macroeconomic management has been prudent and sensible without overstretching ourselves during the pandemic, as several advanced countries did, and therefore correspondingly facing some question marks now in their growth rates or in their inflation management, which thankfully we don't. So that is why this comparison is somewhat useful to us. Next slide, please. So now, from the 10th largest economy to the 6th to the 5th, and then expectedly a third largest economy in the world. By the way, that is not going to happen by simply showing up, okay? It doesn't happen by simply showing up. It will happen because we will have to put in the effort, and we will put in the effort. Because many a time in the past, we have anticipated India to sort of be the next growth engine in Asia and the world. For example, in 2003, 2008, exactly fully realized, although partially realized. So even now, I think it's important to remember what works for us and continue to do that well, and also avoid doing what doesn't work for us, and also address the remaining issues that we need to do in areas of skilling, education, and continued licensing, inspection, compliance procedures that still hold back the MSMEs, etc., around the country. So we need to do all of that, because from 5 to 3 is not or 1/16 of the global GDP almost, compared to barely contributing 1 in 100% about 20 years ago or 15 years ago. We are now contributing 1/16 of global GDP, and it will only become better if we continue to deliver on our potential and promise. Next slide, please. And what is important is that the black line, which is how the economy has progressed in the last few years after the pandemic, has caught up with the red line. The red line is the trend growth in private consumption had the pandemic not happened. But because the pandemic happened, it came down. The black line became the new normal. But it is good to see that the black line has caught up with the trend, where the economy or private consumption, household consumption, people like us, how that would have proceeded without the pandemic. That black line has now converged with the red line, which is a good sign that we have erased some of the slippages that we encountered due to the pandemic. Next slide. And of course, on this chart here, what you see is the set of indicators that we track in the Ministry of Finance. I mentioned the monthly economic report. Is at least 20% higher than the last 10-year average. Seeds availability for farmers are plentiful.